All right, so the Rebbe is now explaining in this mimer of Beis Nissen. It's in Sefer Maimorim Malukat Beis. What exactly happened on the first day of Nisan, when God gave the Jewish people this mitzvah of counting the months? Whether he actually gave it to them on the first day of Nisan or not, but it was still, nevertheless, it was in Egypt, before they left Egypt. Before they left Egypt, God gave them this commandment, Achodesh Ezelachem Mosh Chodashim. What happened? Now, the Jewish people, it's not a religion like all the other religions. The Jewish people, the religion of the Jewish people, it's called Eish Dat, fiery law, fiery religion. Their religion was given to them directly by God. Everybody heard it. Everyone was at Mount Sinai. It wasn't one person suddenly appeared and said, here I have the truth, I have the way. One great warrior went and conquered and said, you see that I'm sent by God. Or one tremendously inspired person went, raised the dead or something. You see that I'm from the Creator. The Judaism is given directly by God. Everyone saw that it was God's hand that took them out of Egypt. Their whole existence depended on God taking them out of Egypt. It was impossible, politically, socially, logistically, for all the Jewish people to leave Egypt. Impossible. Not one slave ever left Egypt. Not one slave ever. The Egyptians were tremendously powerful, both physically and spiritually. It says that the Egyptians had the power to take sticks and make them into snakes. They could turn water into blood. You don't have anybody that can do that today.
What about the Arab Rav that accompanied Moshe out of Israel? Were they converted? Were they circumcised?
So to speak, they were supposed to have been converted, yeah. And
so they also experienced.
They also experienced, yeah. They made a lot of trouble. But okay.
Just trying to find context.
Right. So, I have to look into it a little bit more. Exactly what the Erev Rav did. Did the Erev Rav also make the Korban Pesach? Did they? I don't know. It says Gam Erev Rav Allah Itam. So L'chaora, these people, the commandment of the Jews was. Good question. I'll look and see. I don't know. All right, let's go back to the subject. So, what's this? God gave them took them out of Egypt, gave them the Bible. What did He do it for? What's the purpose? What's the purpose? Now that we see that, amazingly enough, even though the Jews have this amazing history and this just incredible basis for their religion, which no other religion even claims to have, right? The Buddhists or the Hindus or the whatever, the Muslims, they say that we were all there, we all saw God, millions and millions, tens of millions. They don't even make up a story like that, right? That the Israeli professors say the Jews made it up. They made up the story. No, why didn't anybody else make up such a story? Especially there are certain religions that they claim to be the replacements of Judaism. The Jews used to be the chosen people. Now we're the chosen people. God left the Jews. Now we're the chosen. So you're the chosen people. At least make up a story like that. Right? Why don't make up a story? So there's a lot of different answers that are given to that. But one of the answers is that not. First of all, it wasn't a very successful story. We see that the other religions have billions of followers, and Judaism, at the best, they have a million, maybe 2 million people that are really, doing the religion, actually doing the religion. All the rest would like to intermarry, would like to get rid of the whole business, right? The Zionism was just invented so that finally the non-Jews would accept us and we'd be liked and they would stop hating us. And so first of all, we see that the whole story, it didn't really work so well. I mean, as far as religion goes, how many people are,
That's a lot of people. That's pretty miraculous.
Number two is
it's pretty miraculous. We're still doing it.
Oh, that's the number two. Everybody hates us. The whole world hates us. It's always wakes up. What do they hate us for? Why do they make up some reason? The Jews, they control everything. They have a plan to take over everything. I mean, today we see that Islam really does want to take over everything, and they really are. And nobody hates them. I hate them. It's forbidden to hate them. You can't hate them. Even to say something bad about them. When the Germans wanted to take over. When the Germans wanted to take over the world, they really wanted. The Romans wanted to take. I think every country in the world wanted to take over the world. Christianity wants to take over the world, no doubt, right? Every country wanted to take over. Holland wanted to take over the world. Everyone, nobody hates them. Don't hate the French because they wanted to take over the world. Even at the time, nobody hated them, right? Maybe they were afraid of them because they saw they were coming. They hated them. And number 3 is that we do see, yes, miraculously, that the Jews do hold on to their religion, even though that everybody hates them, and a lot of them don't even want to be religious. But some reason, there's this thing that says, no, I'm a Jew, I'm a proud Jew, right? That was the whole story of Purim we just had. Okay, so the Rebbe now says that there's a whole mechanism, spiritual mechanism that's going on over here about this thing. That the Jews have a purpose in the world. And the world has a purpose that can only be revealed by the Jews. According to Darwin, according to other people, the world is just here. It's just some sort of a process that just sort of happened somehow or other from nowhere. Just all of a sudden just started popping up, atoms or whatever it is, energy or spirits or something just popped up from nowhere on its own. And that made space, and it made time, and it made consciousness, and it made everything. Okay, it's an idea. Why not? But the world has no purpose. That's the whole idea of these scientists, to explain how there can be a world. There's no purpose to the world. What's the alternative? 2 alternatives. The world exists here in order to bring us into the heaven. Heaven, the world is a big testing place. We're going to heaven. That's pretty good idea. Pretty motivating. The Jews have a totally different attitude, though. The world is here in order for us to perfect the world, to make God revealed in the world. It'll be a totally different world. There'll be more meaning, and you want to call it bliss or whatever, in this world than in all the upper worlds. Who gets the bliss? God gets the bliss. God gets pleasure. Reach nichoach.
But 1 second in Gan Eden is better than all the good days on earth.
Yes, that's more pleasure to us. But God gets more pleasure when we're here in this world. In heaven, we don't serve God. We don't use our free will. There's no tests. There's no difficulties. Like a very wise man told me, whose name is Zachariah Weiss, if it doesn't come hard, it's not yours. Told me. True. So in heaven, nothing is hard. It's all easy. So there's no challenge. There's no meaning. There's no real responsibility in heaven. But you get pleasure. It's like the how do you say, home for the aged. You get retirement fee. If you get retirement, and then it's warm. There's not cold. There's no challenges, no difficulties. Is it too loud for you? Is there anybody disturbing? Would you like more choco? Would you like more? Right. So everything you get, everything. That's what heaven. Right, but in this world, we have challenges. The world is terrible. But on the other end, if you look at it, that here we can serve God. The world is really nice. It's a big challenge. That's Abraham. That's the first Jew. So all the other religions are talking about what you get. And here we're talking about what we give. But what do we give? What are we supposed to give? We're supposed to give God pleasure by making this world into a place where God is revealed. And when God is revealed here, it's going to be something infinitely more meaningful and real than even the highest heavens. How are we going to do it? We'll learn in 1 minute.